Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. Terrorized by their teen.
You have an out-of-control young man.
I punched my dad in the nose.
Tearing up the house.
He ripped the phone right out of my hands.
He's 15 and you're still whipping him with a belt.
I get so frustrated.
So you're hitting him for you, not him.
He didn't want to come on stage.
He's a little bit nervous.
But his story has to be told.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Steve and Stephanie are a couple from Chicago, Illinois, who have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. They say to outsiders, it would seem like they just have it all together. But behind closed doors, their home is an absolute war zone. Holes in the walls, broken doors, wrecked cabinets. Now, if you're thinking all this is a result of violence between Steve and Stephanie, well, think again. These parents claim that they are actually united against what they call a tornado of drama. Their 15-year-old son, Preston.
You better. I don't have. You are a liar.
Steve and Stephanie claim Preston hits Stephanie daily on her arm, back, and thighs, and touches her in inappropriate areas, such as her breast and buttocks. Now, recently, Preston bloodied Steve's nose after just punching him in the face. They also claim their son calls the police on them after these attacks. Stephanie has even locked herself in her home office to barricade herself from her own child. So what's going on here? Well, let's take a look.
Our 15-year-old son, Preston, is completely out of control.
Stop.
My son has a violent temper.
It seems like anything can set Preston off.
I don't like getting told what to do.
Here's anything, Mom. I'm going to do it again.
If you ask him to do anything, he completely comes undone.
It's as simple as asking him to do his homework. Recently, my husband asked him to clean his room, and he threw a fit. He came after me and ripped the phone right out of my hands.
I don't have.
Our son has said that he hates us, he wishes we were dead, and he would kill us.
No, we're telling you no. I don't trust you.
There's so much conviction behind his words, it's frightening. Preston has even chased and charged me with a knife in his hands. I feel like my son is possessed by the devil.
When I get mad, I break things.
He's broken doors, smashed windows, he's punched and kicked holes in our walls.
Last Christmas, he was so upset that he didn't get a cell phone. He tore down the Christmas tree in retaliation.
Hey.
On a daily basis, Preston hits me.
You better hurry up. I don't have.
I've been bruised all over my body by my own son.
I get into a fight with my dad once or twice a day.
We beat the out of each other, it's bad. Last week, we got into a fight.
My dad punched me in the head, so I punched him right in the nose.
And there was blood everywhere.
I feel like my house has turned into a war zone.
We've had to call the police at least 10 times on our son.
We've tried everything to get our son under control. We've even had to use belts on Preston. I will grab a belt when he tries to charge me.
I've had to hit him with a belt, and it doesn't even faze him. He still keeps coming when he's in a rage.
It doesn't stop me from what I do.
Our son is 15 years old. We spank him 3 to 4 times a week. My wife and I are at the point where we don't even discipline because it's just going to start a fight.
My parents can try disciplining me, but I never do what they want me to do.
This violence in our home just needs to stop. I feel terrified because I don't know how far he could go.
You two are being terrorized by your own son.
Correct.
Very much so, every day.
He's gotten to be really good size.
Very strong.
He's big, he's strong. Okay, so when did this start? When was the first time you had an inkling that he was oppositional, he was defiant, he was violently resistant to what you wanted him to do?
Honestly, for me, it's been almost since we brought him home from the hospital as an infant. He was one of those babies you could never soothe, you could never burp enough.
And how about you? When did you notice?
More for me when he was 3, 4 years old, and there was times we've tried timeout. It never worked. I did use the belt on him from then, and it didn't work. I felt bad. You would whip him with the belt, and it didn't even faze him.
Okay, that was at 3 or 4?
At 3 or 4.
Okay, and he's 15 now, and you're still whipping him with a belt. Does it seem appropriate to you to be hitting a 15-year-old with a belt?
No.
Is it working?
No.
Why? Tell me why you're doing it.
I don't
it's not
know
working.
what else to do.
It's part
So
of...
you say, I don't know what to do, so I'll just do something that I know isn't working. Tell me how that makes sense.
It doesn't. I guess I get so frustrated.
Okay, so you're hitting him for you, not him.
I don't know.
You're venting when you hit him?
Probably.
Ugly, but if it's true, it's true. Here's a photo of a hole in the wall that Stephanie says is a result of a fight between Preston and her older son, Adam. Somebody had to hit that pretty hard. So it's getting pretty violent in this home. You say Preston slapped, kicked, thrown things at your wife when asked something as mundane as cleaning his room.
Correct.
You got this bruise from him, right?
Correct.
How did that happen?
He was angry and upset with me, and he grabbed a bottle and came at me with it. I didn't know he was going to hit me with it. He kind of came at me, and then he slapped my leg with that.
What kind of bottle?
It
Glass
was like
bottle,
a
plastic bottle?
Plastic bottle. And then after that, he would throw, because that's a big bruise. It stayed for a while.
Yeah.
He would poke it and hit it and kick it every chance that he got while it was healing.
Mm-hmm. You says he also touches you inappropriately.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
He knows that it just literally makes my skin crawl. So he touches me on a daily basis. He'll grab my butt. He'll poke me in the breast.
Okay, y'all grade your own paper as far as consistency of parenting. You say, I'm going to do something. What's your follow-through been over the years? Grade your paper on 0 to 100, 100 being highly consistent, where he can predict with great accuracy the consequences of his actions. 0 being where it's just free for all. They're not going to do anything. They don't do what they say, so I can do anything I want. Grade your own paper. What would you give yourself as far as being a consistent, predictable parent?
10.
And?
Probably a 40.
Okay. So you have not, you say that discipline doesn't work, but you've been inconsistent. You'll say one thing and then do another.
Sometimes,
You'll
yes.
threaten but not follow through.
Correct.
You'll impose but not enforce.
I'll go through spurts where we'll be really strict, follow everything. And then for something, it just kind of...
So from his vantage point, his boundary, his fence line's been moving.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a brick wall. Another time it just falls down and he can just go. So he's constantly testing.
Constantly.
See how far it can
Right.
go, how far it can go, how far it can go. Okay, Steve's mother is here and has a slightly different position on what's going on. She says her grandson behaved perfectly fine when he's with her. Wonder why. She'll join us after the break.
My grandson is a good manipulator. Preston's got them running in circles. He's running the house. When my grandson Preston's around me, he's never had a meltdown.
And later, why helping this family meant Dr. Phil had to leave the stage. Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. She drinks at home.
Do not hit him. I dare you.
And at the show.
Did you lose your shoes? .134.
I'm over the legal limit.
This is the guest
I rob him more than you.
you don't want to miss.
Has she hit you in the face?
Don't even go there.
You're out of control. We're talking life-threatening conditions.
That's awesome. Where's the next drinky?
That's tomorrow.
We can't trust our son at all.
At least 4 times in the last 6 months, he's stolen our credit cards.
My parents took my phone away, and I wanted another one.
He'll take our credit cards and buy thousands of dollars of merchandise. He's charged up at least $4,000.
We have to carry our wallets with us at all times. Preston will even sneak into our bedroom at night, and he'll try to steal our wallets.
We have to be on alert 24/7. We never know what he's going to do next.
Steve and Stephanie claim they're living in a war zone completely controlled by their 15-year-old son, Preston, who they call a tornado of drama. Now, Steve's mother, Dawn, says she can't understand how they lost control of their own son, who acts so well-behaved when he's around her.
My grandson Preston and I are very close.
My grandma is so nice.
Preston has a different relationship with me than he does with his parents.
My grandma accepts me more than what my parents do.
It's amazing just to see the two of them together. He's so calm, he respects her.
When Preston's around me, he's never had a meltdown. I'm really not sure what's going on at home. I just don't know. What I've been told about the violence in the house is there's fist fights and physical arguments. Part of the problem is when Preston gets into trouble, he's not held accountable for his actions. There aren't any consequences. I feel like it's easier for them to be passive. I feel my grandson Preston is a good manipulator. My son Steve and my daughter-in-law Stephanie are just overwhelmed. I feel that Preston's got them running in circles and he's running the house. What I did do was write Dr. Phil because I've been so afraid of what could happen.
Okay, I'm glad you wrote in. So let me ask you, you spend a fair amount of time with him, right?
I do.
Does he hit you?
No.
Does he kick you?
No.
Does he touch you in a sexually inappropriate way?
No.
Does he knock holes in your doors?
No.
Does he rip the doors off the hinges?
No.
Has he stolen your credit card and run up thousands of dollars worth of bills?
No.
Does he scream and yell and call you names and curse?
No.
He's a total different person from our house to her house. It's like 2 different people.
By the way, we are using a different name, and we're not showing his face because I just don't think you hold children up to ridicule, and his behavior is certainly worthy of criticism, so I try to protect them in that way. Go ahead.
He knows that I'm concerned that things aren't good at home. I wrote in because the family's in crisis.
But he respects you.
He does respect me, and there's no respect at home.
Have they abdicated their roles as parents, in your view? Have they just given up?
I think, yes, they have.
You got a kid attacking you 5 times a day, destroying your house. He's stolen money, stolen your credit cards, sold your motorcycle for a cell phone.
We don't know what he got in return out of that. But it did come up missing, and I got
Motorcycle
it back.
was gone. He
Right.
had a new cell phone.
He did not have a phone. But he did something, yes.
Did something. He gave
we
it away.
We
sold
don't
it
know
or something.
for what.
And you, and this has been building, and you took him to counseling twice a year?
No, it was family counseling twice a year. He was going either weekly or bi-weekly for 8 years. But it was just him. It wasn't a family thing.
And they wanted to talk to his parents twice a year?
I would go in for 5 minutes. We would talk about the status of him for the week, and then I would leave.
Where did you find, where? You're telling me you have an out-of-control young man not responding to his discipline, tearing up the house, attacking his parents, and you went to a therapist that started talking to him and only wanted to see the parents twice a year?
That was how they did things, and I didn't ask
We've seen
for
them
it.
in the very beginning of every session for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then they would spend all their time with Preston. But he was not that out of control then like he is now.
But that's all I know. I mean, I wouldn't think.
We were doing what we were told at the time.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, you go to professionals, you do what they ask you to do and not what they ask you to not do. You say you weren't perfect in following their 5 minutes of revelations, but wow. I do have to tell you, I don't know what their thinking was. They may have known things I don't know. So I don't know. It'd be unfair for me to judge a situation without all the facts. I can tell you, if you'd have been coming to see me, it'd have probably been the reverse. I'd have probably spent 55 minutes with you and 5 minutes with him. Seriously. Because you're with him all week. I mean, you got to prepare the people that are trying to deal with him, right? You got to give them the help they need. You guys needed the help. We've talked about him a lot, so it's time to meet him. We're going to bring Preston out here after the break.
I can't stand my dad because he always hits me and beats on me. I want my dad in my life, and I just want him to leave and never come back.
And later, you jack with people just to jack with them, right?
Yes.
I'm usually telling them to stop.
It is funny how she says it.
So this is all a game to you.
My mom says I have a mental disorder.
You guys said she ripped the wings off of a pet bird.
I did not kill my bird. You're a little witch.
Your children have been removed from the home.
I'm in Hollywood right now, so how can I worry about my children? I've been worried about your children. Why don't you take them then, little witch? Off before I hit you on stage.
They believe a stranger is obsessed with their twin daughters.
She took my photos offline and made up a complete lie of her as their mom. My girls are in picture frames all over her house.
How did hundreds of pictures of their twins get on your Facebook page?
I honestly don't know. You're a damn liar. You've claimed my girls as your own girls, and it's gonna frickin' stop.
He was a major league pitcher. Now his family says he's a drunk.
You've been self-medicating with alcohol because your dream got ripped from you.
I'm not a drunkard.
This is that bottom of the ninth, man. You got to do this.
I really don't know why my son is so out of control.
He just doesn't think and act the way most people do. He just seems to react with rage. What Preston needs to know is that I love him and I always care about him. I just wish I could fix all this, but I just can't.
We're talking to a family who claims their 15-year-old teenage son, Preston, is destroying their home, physically and verbally assaulting others, which includes hitting his mother so hard that he leaves bruises, recently punching his father in the nose. We've already heard from Dad Steve, Mother Stephanie, and Grandma Dawn. Now, let's hear what Preston has to say.
My parents blame me for everything that goes in the house.
You know nighttime is better than anything.
My parents need to stop treating me like a baby.
Even though Preston is out of control and does all that he does, I still love him. He's my son. I have a soft spot for him. My son and my husband, Steve, don't get along at all.
My dad upsets me a lot.
I've tried to take him fishing, hunting. He just has no patience with me and ends up getting into a fight. I've just kind of given up.
I can't stand my dad because he always hits me and beats on me.
I love my son to death, but he just pushes my buttons till the point where I can't handle it. I have said that I've hated him, and I wish he wasn't there.
My dad treats me like a nobody. He acts like I don't matter.
My son has so much anger towards his father. I wish I knew where the anger comes from.
If my parents could be divorced, I would have them divorced. I feel like I would be better off living with my mom. My mom and I have always been close. When I talk to my dad, he just kind of ignores me and blows me off.
We don't get along. We don't see eye to eye.
I want my dad in my life, and I just want him to leave and never come back.
It's time to meet Preston.
Is he scared?
He's a little bit nervous, so I'm going to help him out.
He's scared to come out.
Excuse me, guys. Dr. Phil, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? Have a seat. Sit down a minute. A little overwhelmed. You're looking sharp. It's like, dude, just take a beat. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Okay.
And if you don't want to come out and join your grandmother and your parents, you absolutely don't have to. It's your choice and you're in control. So if you don't feel comfortable going out there, we can talk right here if you want. So how'd you feel about coming here?
I was nervous the whole time.
But you kind of wanted to, right?
Yeah.
You'll be happy to know, I think thrilled to know, that I don't even almost think this is a Preston problem. I think this is a family situation. And you know what I think part of what's going on is I think a lot of your behavior is just outrageous. It needs to change. But I also ask myself why you're doing some of the stuff you're doing. And I think that you think, and I think you're right about some of this, that there's a double standard in your house. I think you think your brother has one set of rules and you have another set of rules. I think you think he could set the house on fire and then go, oh, now let's not do that.
Yeah.
And you could knock a glass over and they would call in a SWAT team.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how you think it is. Like you have a little ripple and it's a huge deal. He could burn the house down and it would be no big deal. And I think that frustrates the hell out of you.
Yes.
And I think you think that your dad has run out of options of how to deal with you, so he's just stopped talking and started hitting. And so you'd rather he just go away and never come back.
Yep.
If I were standing in your shoes, that's kind of how things would look to me. How am I doing?
Good.
Am I reading this right? Yeah. But your behavior is outrageous, right?
Yeah.
That their parenting is pretty ridiculous. They haven't enjoyed hearing that, but they're very sincere and they love you a lot. Your dad loves you a lot. Your mother loves you a lot. And that's why they're here. I mean, they didn't come on national television thinking I was going to give them A+ for parenting, but they didn't care. They said, we're willing to have our paper graded on national television if it will help our son. We love him that much. You want to go out and chat with him a bit? What do you think? You and me? Let's go. We'll be right back.
No one knows what it's like in my home. We keep it quiet because we just don't want anybody to know.
Because of Preston's out-of-control behavior, we just can't function as a normal family.
We used to go on vacations, but now that there's all this fighting, we don't do it at all anymore.
Our entire life revolves around trying to control our son's mood swings. We can't go out to dinner.
What I want is I just want to have my family back.
Well, I'm back with Steve, Stephanie, Dawn, and Preston. Decided to come out and chat a bit. And the first thing I want to do is just get to know you a bit. We know what frustrates you, and I talked about it a little bit, but what do you like to do?
I like to go outside, like ride horses. I like doing track. That's my favorite sport.
Yeah? What's your best event?
Shot put.
Yeah? Yeah, you look like you could put it pretty good. Yeah. Now, sometimes you jack with people just to jack with them, right?
Yes.
Like flipping the light switch on and off. I mean, you're doing that just to bug him, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what you hope happens when you do that. What's your desired result?
I don't know. Like, he'll get mad and then I keep doing it. And I think it's funny.
What's funny?
When he gets mad.
So you're kind of poking him.
Yeah.
Do you want to fight?
No.
But why do you do it again? What's your thinking in your head? Why do you think?
I just think it's really funny, and I don't think he will. Like, I don't think that he would get up and start wanting to fight.
Uh-huh. You pick at your mother too.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you pick at her?
I know she'll get really, really mad.
And why do you want her really, really mad?
She'll get like a newspaper or hanger and whack me with it. I think it's funny just how she talks.
I'm usually telling him to stop.
And it's funny how she says it.
Mm-hmm. So this is all a game to you. Yeah. When they get really focused and really mad and they get up and they're all over you, isn't it true that that's really the only attention you get? Because they don't ever focus on you that much, that focused on you at any other time, do they? But you do have the ability to behave properly, because you can do it with her, and you're doing it with me now. Tell me one thing you really like about your dad.
That he loves animals.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it, because we don't get along. And there's not much I like about him.
If you never saw him again the entire rest of your life, would that be okay with you?
Right now, yes.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like it's selfish, but right now, I mean, if we could get back on the right track, then it would be way better. Like, I wouldn't want him gone. Mm-hmm. But right now, I don't want him.
But if you could push a button and they get divorced and him go away, you said that would be your desire?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Preston claims a lot of fights at home are often caused when his dad gangs up on him with his older brother, Adam. Well, let's hear Adam's side of this when we talk to him next.
Adam is the golden child.
My brother's lazy, and I feel like all he wants to do is cause problems. I play sports, I'm on the football and the wrestling team. I'm headed to college next year.
When my brother Adam calls me gay and retarded and stupid, my mom and dad don't do anything about it.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. She drinks at home.
Do not hit him. I dare you.
And at the show.
Did you lose your shoes? .134.
I'm over the legal limit.
This is the guest
I rob him more than you.
you don't want to miss.
Has she hit you in the face?
Don't even go there.
You're out of control. We're talking life-threatening conditions.
That's awesome. Where's the next drinky?
That's tomorrow.
Steve and his wife Stephanie claim their 15-year-old son Preston needs help for his violent behavior. I think it's a family problem and not a Preston problem. Preston claims part of the reason he's so angry is because his father clearly favors his older brother Adam. This is what Adam has to say.
I feel like in my parents' eyes that Adam can't do anything wrong. Adam is like the golden child.
My brother's lazy, and I feel like all he wants to do is cause problems. I play sports, I'm on the football and the wrestling team. I get good grades, I'm headed to college next year.
My brother is perfect, and I just feel like they want to throw me in the dump.
Preston's 100% convinced that we treat his brother better than him.
I get in trouble for everything, but when he gets in trouble, he gets a really soft talk. But when I get in trouble, I get screamed at and I get belted.
If Preston just acted better, he would get more freedoms like his brother does.
I think Adam picks on his brother because Adam has a lot of anger and resentment towards Preston because Preston takes so much time and energy out of our house.
The truth is my brother Adam is always mean to me. What really upsets me when my brother Adam calls me gay and retarded and stupid and says I'm adopted and I shouldn't be born. When my brother calls me those things, my mom and dad just sit there and laugh and they don't do anything about it. I just feel like I'm nothing.
Well, Brother Adam is joining us now. Adam, thanks for being here. How do you think you and your brother get along?
Me and him, we usually tend to stay away from each other as much as possible. I'm in so many sports that I'm usually away from the house until 6 o'clock. And then when I show up, we usually start fighting.
Mm-hmm. About what?
Just something dumb, usually. I mean, we'll throw names at each other, and he can't handle it.
If you know that, why do you do it?
I probably need to work on it. I think we all do.
Do you care about your brother?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want for him?
I want him to be normal. I know, like, he's had a hard time being normal. Mm-hmm. He just never had it before.
What do you want him to have in his life?
Mostly just friends. It's hard to see him go on through school with no friends.
So you do care about him?
Yes.
What do you think about what your brother's saying?
It means a lot to me. He is actually caring. Because he usually never cares.
The truth is, you've always cared, isn't that right?
Yes.
Let me tell you something you'll learn as you go along. Big boys don't cry, but men do. And you're talking about your brother here, and it means a lot to your brother. True?
Yes.
What I think this family needs to do, not what Preston needs to do, but what this family needs to do after the break.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
All of our problems with our son, Preston, has had a huge strain on our marriage.
My husband and I are stressed out about 90% of the time. Our lives are consumed by taking care of our son, Preston. Preston nearly burnt the house down last week. We can never relax.
We're just completely exhausted.
We don't sleep. We feel like zombies. I just want to find a solution to these problems. I want my husband back in my life.
I don't think you guys are evil parents or negligent parents or in some kind of way have some hidden agenda to sabotage your family or your children. I don't think that at all. And I hope I haven't come across as that way. I just think that you have lacked the tools to figure out some difficult puzzles. And this family has momentum in a real self-destructive way, and that's got to change. So I want you to do something. I want you guys to do something. I want to add to the conversation Kristen Hayes. She's the outreach director at Turnabout Ranch. Now, Turnabout Ranch is one of my favorite places because it's a real working ranch with real values taught to create really lasting change. And they combine therapy, academics, hard work to achieve really powerful results. And they work with students ages 13 to 17 who are struggling with all kinds of issues, a range of emotional and behavioral issues. And I love that it's a ranch because, and I chose this as an option because of the animals, because I know your love for horses and animals. Students learned leadership, teamwork, accountability, responsibility, all of these things. It's terrific. And have you seen a better candidate for Turnabout Ranch than this young man? Someone that deserves this more than him?
I have not. I mean, this Turnabout Ranch is an opportunity for this family. It really is. And what it is it's a residential treatment center for troubled teens, as Dr. Phil had said, and it's set on an actual working cattle ranch in Utah. And what that means is that students can put concepts like accountability and responsibility, respect, all of those things into practice in a real-world environment. And by removing Preston from the chaos of the home environment, he can really focus on himself and learn better conflict resolution tools and better improve his communication skills with his parents through the great family therapy that we also offer.
Yeah. I would not even consider that with him if you two are not willing to do something similar, because you have lost your way. I want to send you to Tennessee. I want to send you to a place called On-Site. It is a worldwide leader in really customized, intensive workshops specializing in emotional trauma and mental health issues. They really focus on family dynamics and family dysfunction. And you two really need to take some time and put yourselves in the shop. And if you don't go, he doesn't go. I said, I'm not playing favorites here. He's got to do work. You've got to do work. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I mean, this is fair enough?
Yes, fair enough.
Okay, you can talk to Kristen backstage, and then I want to know what happens here. You keep us posted. Let's turn this family around. Let's get you the peace you need. Let's get you all the peace you need. Okay, fair enough? All right. I'm about to bring out the biggest yardstick you have probably ever seen. What if I told you I was going to use it to measure your life in a way you never imagined? I'll tell you what I mean after the break. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. Well, you see this yardstick? It's not for measuring your waistline. It's actually for measuring the years of your life. Think about it. I'm standing here so you don't waste another minute. Now, I asked for a volunteer earlier. Deborah, you're it, right?
Yes, I am.
Come up here, if you will. How are you?
Hi, just fine.
Now, you're one of those ladies that is okay with disclosing your age.
Yes, I am.
Don't say it. I want you to just find your age and stand on it. Okay. I want you to turn this way. And I want you to look. That kind of goes out to an optimistic life expectancy.
Yes, I know.
And how much is ahead of you? That's not so much.
Scary.
That's kind of depressing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, so you're 57? Six. Now, what do you do?
I'm an elementary PE teacher.
Oh, well, congratulations. I love teachers. Great. Now, how much longer are you going to teach?
I'm going to teach one more year, and then
okay.
I'm going to retire.
Okay.
But then I'm going to go back into the workforce because I'm not ready to retire.
All right. So, and how old are your parents?
My parents are not alive.
Okay.
My parents are deceased. My dad died when he was 50, and my mom was 52, and that's been probably 30 years ago.
Okay, so both of your parents died in their 50s.
Early 50s.
And you're in your 50s.
Middle, late 50s, yes.
Yeah. So mortality comes into play. I mean, you think about it. And that's what I want everybody to think about. And there is a test that I want you to take, and that I want everybody to take, everybody in the audience, everybody at home. It's called Life Manager Performance Appraisal. I'm gonna let you go back and sit down.
Okay.
Now think about your life right now and how it's going for you. I mean, how's it going? Is it going well? Is it going bad? I mean, are you working all the time? Are you not having any fun? Are you missing out? Is there passion in your life, or are you just going through the motions? If I had a life manager that was putting me in that position, I'd fire his ass. But the problem is, you can't fire you. So that just means you've got to do a better job. If you're living for what you don't want instead of for what you do want, you got to change something. I mean, if you're down here and you're saying that's behind me and that's ahead, you don't want to waste a minute. I don't even want to get a head cold. I want to use every minute as vibrantly as I can, don't you? If you're 40 and you're halfway, you don't want to waste time, do you? I don't care if you're 20, 30, 45, you want to make conscious decisions about your life. So take this test. The test is at lifereimagined.org. And I've put something else there. And it is a program, Become the Best Version of Yourself. It's a personal journey guided by Dr. Phil. That's me. This program that I've created with Life Reimagined is really involved. It's very sophisticated, where I walk you through the questions to ask and lead you to the answers to find out if you need to rewrite the script for the rest of your life. And for all of you here in the studio audience, you get the entire program completely free of charge as my guest. Okay? I don't care where you are on this yardstick. Take the time to thoughtfully do this. You will be glad you did. For those of you at home, go to the website, take the test, see how you're doing as a life manager. I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Kristen Hayes, Outreach Director from Turnabout Ranch, Victor Lopez, owner of Youth Transport, and Miles Adcox and the on-site people. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was still a storm. I've always been naive, call it.
We gon'